Yo, welcome to Spectator Sporting. I'm Zach LaVine with my co-host, Mr. Adiwadi, the architect. We are talking about the Chicago Bulls today, and you know we talking about the Bulls. We got my main man Bird in the building, and we got my man James Black in the building. We got a lot to get to. Make sure you go on the Spectator Sporting YouTube page. Go ahead and subscribe. We just dropped the Eastern Conference preview, and we dropped the Western Conference preview. So go ahead and check it out. Check out our picks. If you agree or disagree, let us know. Let's get into it. The Chicago Bulls. Welcome back. They finally back. They had a long time off.
Yeah.
They had a long time off because of the pandemic and because they just wasn't good.
Wasn't good enough to make the bubble.
Couldn't make the bubble.
Yeah.
So they come back with a new coach.
Yeah.
Billy Donovan. They come back with a whole new front office.
Yeah.
So it's looking okay for the Bulls. Right? It's got a reason for the Bulls fans to feel optimistic. So Bird, I'm gonna start with you on this one. As far as the Bulls roster, what do you think about what the Bulls did do and what they didn't do?
I like the free agent signing of Garrett Temple. Pretty solid player. The rookie, I think I seen him a little bit. You know, I was kind of disappointed when they drafted him because I didn't know nothing about him. But I mean, he has potential, like all of them have. You know, he got a little skill. My thing is, you know, having a history of the Bulls, they've always had an infatuation with marginal forwards. So, you know, I don't know if he's going to be something more than that.
See some different.
Because they've had some really good marginal guys that was really good players. You know, Taj Gibson's a good player. You know, Bobby Portis is a good player.
Yeah,
true. You know, but
Marcus Fizer.
But
they go after that guy all the time.
So, but I like Billy Donovan signing. I mean, I think Billy Donovan is a good coach. You know what I'm saying? Definitely he overachieved, I believe, in OKC for the most part.
Yeah.
So I'm up on the roster moves for this. Of course, I would like to see another impact player come into the fold, but you know, we're probably a year or two away from that happening. Well, this year I think is really important. If they can show that they competitive enough, then it may you know be a sparkly enough object for a big time free agent to come mess with it. So overall, I think they got about a B or so.
Okay. I'm not mad at a B. Same question to you, James. What do you think about the Bulls' moves as far as their roster coming into this season?
Coming to the season, the roster, again, starting with a new coaching staff. You started fresh with the guys that we seen last year. Mm-hmm. And with addition to Pat Williams, I mean, I like the Rook, man. He showed me a little something in the first two games, just skill set overall play. Even when he had a rough and terrible game in game two, he still turned it around and kept playing hard. He didn't give up. He kept shooting the ball, kept making his moves, doing his plays as if the game was going good. So I like that about him. He didn't lose his confidence at all. So with that being said, going into the season, man, as long as it's not like the first game they played was so terrible, man. I'm like, oh, not this shit again, you know. But as long as the second game they came back, they fought hard. Billy Donovan put his emphasis on working hard and playing hard, which I like. We saw Coby White and Zach have a good game. Markkanen, we still kind of waiting on him to come around, but like he still was aggressive and still was going hard. So we'll see what happens with that. So going into it, I agree with Bird. I give him like a B range for what they had to work with the pandemic going on, free agency being off all this time. Yeah. They did the best they can do with Pat Williams. He seemed to be okay. So I see how it worked out.
Yeah, Pat Williams, I do like. I get what y'all saying about him. He's very calm and poised. That's one thing I do like about him.
Real smooth, man.
Yeah,
he let the game come to him, man.
It's not too big for him. Adi, same question to you.
Not too big, right?
Yeah. Same question to you, Adi. What did you think about the Bulls' moves they made as far as their roster?
Well, the management, the new management did surprise us. They shocked Chicago and the nation by passing on Denny Avia with the number 4 overall pick. He slipped all the way to number 9 to the Washington Wizards. He had a good game in his first preseason game, but they drafted, Patrick Williams. We're talking about him. He was the second youngest player in the NBA draft. He's a very versatile small forward. He's very athletic and a very solid defender. But now he's supposed to be a developmental project type of offensive player and things like that. But he does have really good ball handling skills.
Yeah.
Roach, I remember you saying that he played point guard in high school.
He did in high school.
Yeah.
He shoots 3 a little bit too.
He's got a good form on the shot too. He got a nice form.
I mean, the form is nice, and I like his ball handling. I mean, he really, that's a pleasant surprise from him seeing that. And the man, and so he's going to be a developmental offensive player like Jaylen Brown was with the Celtics. You know what I'm saying? Jaylen Brown, he only averaged 6 points a game in his rookie year with the Celtics. And Jimmy Butler with the Bulls. In his second year, he only averaged 8 points per game. And so, and I like his mid-range game. I like Patrick Williams. He looks very comfortable with the mid-range. And he shot 84% from the free throw line at Florida State University last year. And so, now since the man's starting ahead of him, he only played 29 games in his 1.5 years with the Bulls, and that's why Bulls fans are pretty not too fond of Otto Porter Jr.
Yeah, man, I can't stand Otto's game.
Not too fond of him.
I don't like that man's game.
But you know what? I like Otto Porter Jr. The man, I mean, he's overpaid. He's making $28.5 million.
Yeah, he need to show me way more than that for 28 million.
So
come on.
That's the problem. But you know, he will be starting ahead of my man Patrick Williams. But the thing is, before he joined the Bulls, his year with the Wizards, he was number 3 in the NBA in 3-point percentage, 44% from downtown. And in his 29 games with the Bulls, he shot 44% from the 3-point line. That is Patrick Williams' weakness coming into the league right now, that long distance 3. So hopefully he can learn a thing or two from Otto Porter.
I know they're playing both with Markkanen ain't doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, the Bulls they really didn't make too many as far as bringing people in, but Garrett Temple, like Bird said, that was a solid move because he's a good defender and he can shoot the 3. He's somebody that can
solid safe move. I would say,
absolutely. So I did like that move
from last year.
So far, this preseason is early. We got to remember these are preseason games, but in the 2 preseason games, the rookie did look decent. He looked like okay. He looked like he could be something.
He can do
this. Career.
So
he can definitely do this, man. Looking at them games.
Yeah. So and then you got Billy Donovan. The key is like more than anything, who's going to get better on the roster? Who's going to step out and become better? So this is why I asked you, James. Okay. I'm looking for who's coming better. So which player are you really focusing on the Bulls this year?
Well, I want to say Coby White because he's moving into the point guard role. And the point guard role is, is a floor general. He's going to have to control the tempo, control the flow, and at the same time be able to assert himself because he is a scorer. Yeah. Coby is a scorer, come first. So the way his transition happens under Billy Donovan and the new coaching staff is going to be very important on how the Bulls are able to transition because that's going to domino down to Zach LaVine on how he's going to elevate and get better based on how Coby White is able to distribute the ball and help Zach out when Zach is shooting kind of poorly at times. Yep. So it's going to Coby White to me by being the point guard is going to have to be and Lauri Markkanen together. Those go hand in hand in Wendell Carter, but starting out with Coby White, how he leads that team is what's most important to me.
Absolutely, yeah. That's definitely a big transition for him.
Yeah, big transition.
For playing point guard. Yeah. Bird, same question to you. What player are you looking at the most on the Bulls? Who are you focusing on this year? Who you hope to see get better?
Well, the same player, Coby White, was the player that I think was done the most injustice to last year under Jim Boylan. So I think, I think he much more than what the fans was able to kind of get to see. Yeah. I mean, but other than him, of course, Zach LaVine is going to be a person that I would, focus on outside of Markkanen, because we want to see if he can come back to his trajectory again. But Zach LaVine, I want to see if Zach LaVine can maintain what I believe is a top 10 two-guard status in the league easily. Yeah. But, he got to take it to the next level and turn that talent into helping the team win. Yeah. And so, I want to see if him and Coby can be as dynamic a backcourt as I imagine them being.
Yeah, they can be very dynamic. Actually, they scored 40-some points last game. They had 20-some minutes apiece, something like that together.
Yeah, so they both scored over 20 points.
Yeah, in 20 minutes, I think 23 minutes or something like that. So let's see what it do when the real show gets started.
The Coby White don't get enough credit for his willingness and ability to pass the ball.
Yeah. Okay. He had a couple nice passes.
It's like people just he's a scorer. Like that's how they try to play him now. You're a two-guard. No, this dude is a basketball player that know how to play the game. If you let him play, he gonna make good basketball.
But we see it work. We do see a scoring point guard and a shooting guard with the Blazers. All right, you see Damian Lillard and CJ.
The Blazers.
That's what's going on now.
How about the entire NBA? Name the John Stockton.
Yeah.
Now.
Your point guard must be able to
Rondo and
score
Chris
right
Paul.
now. Yeah.
Them niggas 75 years old.
Last of a dying breed. They're the last two survivors of the
There is no star point guard that don't score.
Well, you got Ben Simmons.
Actually, Chris Paul actually scored.
He's still getting 20
more than
points.
Now Rondo's.
Ben Simmons still getting 20 plus points a night. He's just not shooting threes.
Yeah, he don't really shoot that
But
much.
he scores the ball.
He can't really shoot.
He scores the
He
ball.
can't shoot a damn thing.
He scores the ball.
He does.
I will emphasize again. There are no Stocktons. There is no pure point guard. No, that's a dinosaur.
Yes.
It is.
And if you holding a player back because of that, and if you putting a player in a box because of that, then you stupid and you limited your team.
Well, hopefully the new management. Hey, one thing about the new management, they roll right in. They say, "Who's your starting point guard?" He said, "Coby White." He didn't hesitate.
Yeah.
He didn't stall out. He said, "Coby White is
It
the
wasn't
starting point
rocket
guard."
science. He had Sadaransky and Archie Adano.
But the last regime,
Giordano's. We had Giordano's and Sadaransky.
Young Archie.
the last
He
regime
should've
was cool
started
with
last
that.
year.
Yeah, he definitely should have started last year. I said that in last year's show. I said Coby White should be the starting point guard.
you definitely
I sat in the basement at the last show and said Coby White should be the starting point guard.
No, you definitely did.
Yeah,
you definitely did. No, but you bring up a good point about Zach LaVine, because Zach LaVine was kind of crying last year. He didn't make the All-Star team.
Right.
Yeah, damn the
He
All-Star
should
team.
have.
Yeah, but so
I
now
know it was in Chicago, but
Make the all we play hard team. Make the let's we gonna play defense team.
start winning some games.
Yeah, what?
Get the Bulls with a respectable record. I ain't saying you gotta have the best record, and you're playing second All-Star game. Adi, same question to you. What player are you focusing on?
Well, I'm curious to see if Lauri Markkanen, man. I'm curious to see if he can get his game back on point. The man, he was an all-rookie first teamer along with Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, and Ben Simmons.
Damn, he was with Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, it was all on the all-rookie first team. He looked like he belonged. Like, okay, this guy.
he did.
He coming in
Basically against Porzingis, like, okay, we got something.
Yeah, he had a hell of a game against New York when they played against Porzingis, the Unicorn, and so he elevated his game in his sophomore year. He elevated his game, averaged 18 points, 9 rebounds a game.
Yeah.
He looked like a rising star in the league. He was thriving in Fred Hoiberg's system, but in his third year, Jim the Clown he sabotaged Lauri Markkanen's game. Boylan hated the mid-range jump shot, and he had Markkanen. He turned the versatility out of his game.
Yeah.
He turned him into a spot-up three-point shooter. All right, he went to the hole a lot more under Fred Hoiberg's system.
Trying to take Dirk and whiskey out of him.
Yeah. And so last season,
Boy ball was terrible.
he was frustrated with Boylan. You know, there was reports saying that Markkanen wanted out of Chicago. He went out of with Jim Boylan, and Markkanen was quoted saying that he had 80 touches a game in his first 2 years, and it dropped all the way down to 40 a game under Jim Boylan's system.
Yeah.
And so
But Jim
now,
Boylan was always next in line.
yeah, Boylan's gone now. He's out of there. We got Billy Donovan, and so that's the main dude I'm looking at Lauri Markkanen, because if he can get back to his sophomore season, his first 2 years, if he can get back to playing like that, and then I look at Coby White, he looks good, man. And he looks nice, starting point guard.
Yeah.
You know LaVine gonna get you about 25 points.
Yep.
The rookie looks good, and if Markkanen is good, hey, you might have something going on.
Absolutely. Markkanen, all y'all named three. Those are three crucial players. But I'm gonna go with Wendell Carter, because he's got to be the anchor of the defense, and he's got to be able to knock down shots, timely shots,
Stay out of foul trouble.
and stay out of foul trouble. Now Billy Donovan is already saying he wants Wendell Carter to shoot threes. He wants
He can shoot.
He's got a good form on now. It's not good results, but
I don't
once
see him shooting 10 of them, but
yeah,
I want Noah to come work with him, man. Get him some big man hustle. I'm a dog type of player, man.
And more, he need that way. Hopefully he's worked on his offensive. Hopefully he's added a post game to his arsenal. Hopefully he's added a hook shot, a turnaround jump shot.
Yeah.
You know, not just depending on like hitting threes. So hopefully he's worked. Look, he's had a lot of time in this pandemic. Hopefully he's worked on his game.
He definitely added a knee brace.
Yeah.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
Yeah, he added a knee
He
brace.
completely fits the mantra of what the Bulls have always done.
Yeah.
Marginal power forwards.
He is looking like
They
this.
love it.
Yeah, you know what? His name came up in trade talks before the draft. They were saying it was
Yeah, but nobody wanted his
trade him
ass,
to the
though.
They
Warriors.
should have pulled the trigger on that.
Yeah.
Nobody was accepting.
And no disrespect to Wendell, he's a decent player. But again, he looks like another one of those marginal.
He does.
Power forwards.
He does.
Let's just
I'm
be
with you.
real.
I hope he proves me wrong.
Now that he done grew the hair, I'm like,
Let's
damn,
be real.
what the
In the
hell is
last
that, man?
20 years,
Yeah.
in the last 20 years, the Bulls got that forward thing right twice. And when they got it right, they immediately botched it.
Yeah.
So they drafted LaMarcus Aldridge for the Portland Trailblazers so we could get Tyus Thomas. And then,
Ooh, I was so pissed off.
well, not then, but before that, the rightest that they ever got it, they got Elton Brand. He
Yeah.
won Rookie of the Year for us. But they said, you know what?
Let's trade that.
We don't want to give this much. We don't want to pay him for his accomplishments.
Yeah,
Let's
let's
get Tyson Chandler.
Yeah.
What? No disrespect to Tyson, but he wasn't the player Elton Brand was. We clearly know Tyus Thomas wasn't the player LaMarcus Aldridge is. So, yeah, the two times they got it right, they immediately botched it.
They said, hey, we got that right. Hold on.
Hold on,
Hold on,
Hell no. He ain't playing here ever. And he got to go after his Rookie of the Year season.
Even though we got it right, let's get him out of here. Yeah.
Well, Wendell Carter his career average is 10 point now, 8.7.2 rebounds, 8.2 rebounds a game.
Marginal.
But the
10
biggest,
and 8, huh?
another big problem
He is shorty, though. He's
it's
good,
2 seasons. He's only played 47 games.
And 2 seasons?
Yes. So that's the biggest issue with him. He's been hurt a lot since he's came with
Very
the Bulls. So he's got to get his health together.
Well, we got a new training staff too.
Yeah, so
and they came in clean house. They brought a new training staff, and that's been the injuries been a big problem. So.
well, you got scores like y'all mentioned all the scores. You mentioned Coby White, Lauri Markkanen, Zach LaVine. So Wendell Carter's biggest job is going to be the defense angle, rebound, and play defense. So if he can bring that every night and double-digit rebounds and get you about 12, 13 points, I will be satisfied with that. No question. All right. So playoffs, Ali. Before we decide if the Bulls gonna make the playoffs or not, explain this new playoff scenario the NBA has got going on.
All right, it's the play-in tournament, okay? So this is some new stuff. They did it in the bubble, all right? So look, just in case y'all forgot or didn't know, here's how the play-in tournament works. The top 6 seeds in the East automatically make the playoffs, so they don't have to worry about no play-in tournament. Now, it's highly unlikely that the Bulls will be a top 6 seed. So here's how the play-in tournament works. It involves the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th seed. The 7th seed will play the 8th seed. The winner of that game becomes the 7th seed. Okay. The loser of that game plays the winner between the 9th and the 10th seed. And the winner of that game becomes the 8th seed.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so that's a play-in tournament, all right? And so now, in order for the Bulls to at least get a top 10 seed, of course they got to have a better record than 5 teams in the East. Now, I'm looking at the Cavs, the Knicks, and the Pistons. That shouldn't be a problem. They should have a better record than those teams there. But towards the end of the regular season, I see Atlanta and the Wizards battling it out for the 8th seed. So I think the 10th seed is going to come between 3 teams. I'm looking at the Orlando Magic, the Charlotte Hornets, and the Chicago Bulls. Now, the Charlotte Hornets, they did make some improvements. They got a Rookie of the Year candidate, LaMelo Ball, on the squad, and they did overpay for Gordon Hayward, but the man he can still ball. He's going to contribute to the Charlotte Hornets. Now, also the Orlando Magic, they did lose DJ Augustine, but they replaced him with Cole Anthony from North Carolina. He should replace him pretty well. They got Markelle Fultz at the point guard. They lost their 2017 number 6 overall pick, Jonathan Isaac. He tore his ACL in the bubble. He's out for the season. But they do have the big man, Nikola Vucevic. He's the most underrated big man in the NBA. And the Orlando Magic made the playoffs in the last 2 seasons. I don't see the Bulls making it to the play-in tournament. I don't see them being better than Orlando and Charlotte. I think the Bulls don't make it to the play-in tournament.
Ooh. It's going to be tough. The EC is a lot better this year, so you bring up some good points. Bird, do the Bulls have any chance to make the playoffs this year?
They have a slight chance. They have a slight chance, but it's so much that have to go right. You know what I'm saying? And it's very much contingent upon Coby White and Markkanen's improvement. Markkanen got to resurge. Coby White got to just, kind of show his trajectory of going upward. Man,
it's tough.
I want to say, being a Bull fan but at the same time, man, I've noticed, a lot of people like to say how weak the East is. I kind of don't believe. I think that's kind of like a cliche thing to say, especially today when you look at now, you got 10 teams deep that like, oh, okay, well, these 10 teams will really be fighting for that 8th spot, but at the end of the day, I think the Bulls can be in the mix. Man, it's hard for me to say, man, but I want to say yes, but I'm going to go no.
Yeah.
Just because of the simple fact that it's so many damn questions. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's real. And like you bring up a good point, Adi, you and Adi both. The East is a lot better this year. A lot of better teams going on in the East, so it's going to be much harder. A lot better players. James, same question to you. Do the Bulls have a chance to make the playoffs?
Well, for me, I would say because of that play-in factor, having that one game going on, I'm gonna go ahead and say that the Bulls got a chance to make it in. I think they're gonna make it in with that play-in system.
Okay.
Had it not been for the play-in system, I'd probably say hell no, there's no way in hell they're gonna make it.
Yeah.
But when you add the play-in system, I feel like this team is gonna get better over time with a new management, new coaching staff. Once they buy into the system and get better at the new system, they will get better as the season goes on. I see them being able to make that 9th, 10th playoff game, one game type of scenario. If the game is in Chicago, I see Billy Donovan having some experience of working with teams that have all-star players and been able to work with something that's good. So I see Billy Donovan being able to get the Bulls over the hump in that situation, playing a Charlotte or Orlando or whoever. Because the Bulls last year was able to beat certain teams in boy ball just by playing hard and playing tough. They went down to Charlotte. Zach LaVine just went crazy and beat. They can beat certain teams under a terrible situation. So having a good coaching staff in place, I see the Bulls being able to do it, man. I'm a Chicago head all the way to the day, no matter what, man. So I'm rolling with the Bulls because of new playoffs play-in and because of new management, new coaching staff. I'm rolling with them to get in there.
Okay.
Chicago all day, man.
So James got them going to the playoffs.
I got them going in there, man.
Hey, I'm not mad at that. Listen, they got to have a lot of things go right. Like Zach LaVine, we already talked about, has to not only become a star, he needs to become a superstar.
Yeah.
Coby White
can do it.
Coby White Lauri Markkanen is going to have to go back to his rise and send itself. Wendell Carter, we talked about, he's going to have to be the defensive enforcer.
Yeah.
And then other players are going to have to chip in. And if that happens, they still won't make the playoffs. They just don't have the talent.
I know, man.
They don't have the talent right now. Now, I can see them improving. I can see them being competitive in games. They're going to play teams a lot harder this year. But as far as winning the games, I just don't see it. I don't think
So who's the top 6 in the East?
Top 6, you got the Nets,
Milwaukee,
Boston, Miami,
Philadelphia,
Indiana.
Toronto. That's 7.
Toronto. Yeah, 7.
Then you got the Wizards. They got Westbrook and Bill, and the Hawks.
Atlanta.
That's 9.
Hey, I see us right in there, man. I see us right in there.
So you say we better?
No. We're gonna save the tape and we're gonna re-roll the tape.
Okay.
When we see what they look like.
Now we gotta give Orlando their credit for being above the Bulls, because Orlando when they had made to the playoffs
2 years in a row,
and they gave Bubba's problems. Right, so they're a playoff team at this point.
Yeah.
So they better than the Bulls right now.
They are.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we can't not count them like the Bulls.
We count them in
So we
there.
gotta put them above. So that's 10.
Yeah, you're right.
Because the playoff play-in, I got
That's
them
10
going
right
in.
above the Bulls. Now we're gonna be in the situation. We're gonna be in the area.
Yeah, we're gonna be in the area.
Depending on how disciplined they play.
Now
and how,
I will say this.
The coaching could become
If the Rook just busts out like, oh, man, this is what y'all ain't see type shit, like oh shit, then there might be some other
because
shit.
Patrick Williams is the damn ace in the hole that we got, but only because he fits in, man, with today's team, man.
It's not crazy to believe that the Bulls can have a better record than Orlando and Charlotte.
No, it's not crazy.
It's not crazy.
The Bulls can get a 10th seed. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Still better than Charlotte right now.
Yeah, I would say they're better than Charlotte right now.
They was hovering around the 10th seed on the boy ball last year.
They was number 11 seed last year. They finished as number 11.
At one point, they was like the 9th seed. We was like, oh,
But if you go all the way down, how many teams in the East?
It's 15.
Right, so if you go all the way down,
I see them rolling in.
all these teams are still going, you know what I'm saying, can be a problem for the Bulls. There's not a team in the East that's not a problem. So I'm saying, you get all the way to the bottom, them bottom teams could be the reason the Bulls' ass don't make it to the playoffs too.
Knicks, Cleveland, and Detroit.
The Knicks fucking around and sweep the series and shit. You know what I'm saying? That kind of shit. Because
Obi Toppin be dunking on us, huh?
Look, it's a new regime, and I like Billy Donovan's work, his history. Billy Donovan from Florida to the NBA. He's one of the few that transitioned to the NBA. He lost Westbrook and lost Durant and still kept OKC competitive. I mean,
I think if you're right, I think Billy Donovan is one hell of a coach, dog. He's gonna get some coach of the year. He ain't gonna get coach of the year, but he will get some votes. He might get like third place or something if the Bulls
will play better under Billy Donovan regime.
He gets some votes.
I absolutely respect everything Billy Donovan has done as a coach, but I will say Billy Donovan has never been devoid of players. Like we pat him on the back for last year's job, but he had Chris Paul with a lot of young killers and some veterans as well. Gallinari wasn't no Steven Adams wasn't. These guys, just veterans.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now Shea Gilgeous a young killer.
Shea Gilgeous, yeah.
But that being said, that I'm not taking nothing away. Billy Donovan did a great job with it, but he has always had solid players, which he still has now. So we can see if he can carry that over to the Bulls and get at least the same kind of effort that he got out of them guys, them young guys last year.
But I mean, I can't say this though. I mean, I ain't gonna understate it. What he did with OKC was amazing to me. I'm telling you this, dog. They had a better record than the Blazers, better record than the Dallas Mavericks. They was the 5th seed in the West, and then they took the Houston Rockets to 7 games. And
after losing Westbrook,
and that 7 game 7, they just should have won the
I think that roster's underestimated.
Their roster was a little better than people give credit for.
Better than the Mavericks in Portland. And,
well, no,
when the season started, no one said okay.
Nobody said that.
Nobody said it.
First of all, Porzingis was hurt for most of the season, so Dallas, you can't even really count what Dallas' record was.
What about Utah? They had a better record than Utah Jazz.
But that still don't.
Utah has some injuries too. Remember, they top one of their second leading scorer missed pretty much.
You talking about Donovan? He missed the playoffs, but he played.
He missed a lot of the season too. Yeah, like that's when Utah started to struggle. Remember, Utah had went on the run. They had got up to like the top 3, and then dude got hurt. So like they had some injuries too.
Man, that was remarkable.
No, you're right. You're right.
Billy Donovan is the best coach we've had since Tom Thibodeau. Listen. Billy Donovan is the best coach we've had.
He hasn't coached the game here yet, though.
He hasn't coached the game.
So we gotta. So we can't just
not a lot of college coaches transition to the NBA and have success.
He's a good coach. He's had some success, but he hasn't coached here yet. So like we all believe it's gonna be better.
See what them guys.
But we still gotta see.
We got to next week, right? It's on next week. It's on next week.
Well, yeah, you're right. But OKC finna be like the worst team in the league.
No, they definitely gonna be
terrible. They just traded everybody.
Yeah, they gonna be terrible this year. So
they lost it. They say the Bulls got to steal. In free agency, you got to add Billy Donovan as a steal for the Bulls because no one expected OKC to move on from Billy Donovan with the season that they just had. No one said, hey, Billy Donovan can leave OKC and go to the Bulls.
Well, I can see it because they had a successful season. They knew they wasn't nowhere near no championship.
Yeah, that's a new that. So, if anything, if the Bulls make the playoffs or not, James, what is one thing? What is something you want to see from the Bulls? What's your final thoughts on the Bulls?
I mean, play hard, play with some high intensity, stay in the game, make smart decisions. I mean, play some Chicago basketball, man. Come on now, that's what I want to see. I want to see these guys develop. I want to see the new coaching staff put their stamp on how everything's going to be brand new training staff, keep the players healthy. And play hard, stay in games, and you never know what happens at the end of the game. Once you're playing hard and you're staying in the game the whole way through. Absolutely. Play 48 minutes is what I want to see. Absolutely. Chicago Bulls basketball, 48 minutes.
Same question to you, Bird. At the end of the day, what do you expect and what do you want to see out the Bulls this year?
I want them to show the league and especially any free agents that's thinking about coming to a big market that this is a good place that I can come to. All they need is me. I want so be competitive, like you said. You know, we just had the debate on whether or not we think they're gonna be a playoff team. We all agree at the very least they're gonna be in the hunt. So I want them to show a good product. Yeah, I just want to see winning basketball in Chicago again. And I think we're really close to it. You know, we just got to see at the end of the day how it's going to translate on the court. But that's what I want to see. I want to see good effort out there. And I want to see Zach LaVine turn into that superstar. Because I think he got it in him. You know, I think he's much more than a lot of people look at Zach game and think he's just a gun. But Zach he want to win. You see it in his eye, like he a dog. He won't. Yeah. You know, I know he light skinned and all that, but you know,
and he wearing number 8 for a reason, man. He idolizes Kobe Bryant. The man can straight out ball. I mean, like Zach LaVine in the right coaching.
You're not gonna name 10 shooting guards before you get to that man's name.
He was actually named the ESPN's in the top 100 players. He was named. I think he came in around 40 or 50.
72, I think.
No, 70. No.
But you know, Zach need help.
Yeah, he does.
He
averaged 25 last year. The best since the man has been in Chicago with average 25 a game. I mean, we can't ignore that.
Also, wait. You talking D-Rose? You talking about D-Rose?
D-Rose averaged 25.
Yeah, Zach LaVine averaged more than D-Rose 25. I think.
No, he averaged 25.
No, only one.
They said Zach LaVine averaged. They said Zach LaVine has averaged
25.
Yeah.
It was
Zach LaVine averaged more than any player on the Chicago Bulls since Michael Jordan. They didn't say D-Rose.
Nah, but it was like D-Rose. He was like 25.5. D-Rose was like 25.1.
Okay.
Yeah, Zach LaVine was a slight edge over D-Rose's. Yeah, Zach LaVine's averaged the most since Mike.
Same
More
question.
than Jimmy Butler.
More than Jimmy. Okay.
More than Jimmy. I mean.
Same question to you, Adi. What do you want to see from the Bulls going to the season?
Well, you know, I look at this season as who should we keep long term? You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of questions. Can Lauri Markkanen get his mojo back? What the hell is going on with Wendell Carter Jr.? What's up with that guy? Can Zach LaVine be a number 1 option on a contender? Is Coby White the point guard of the future? Do we have our PG? And so, if the Bulls don't make it to the play-in tournament, I won't expect an all-star type of player to sign with the Bulls in the 2021 off-season. We do live in the superstar demand a trade or leave your team in free agency type of era. But whenever these guys do leave their team, they're trying to win right now. So we'll see if the Bulls do get a top 10 seed and end up getting a playoff berth. But if not, the 2021 draft class is looking much better than 2020. You got the 6'8" combo guard, Cade Cunningham from Oklahoma State. You got the 6'4" point guard, Jalen Suggs from Gonzaga. And the 7-foot power forward, Evan Mobley from the University of Southern California. I'm looking at college basketball and see who the Bulls can draft because I don't have them going to the playoffs.
Ooh, damn, man. Yeah. I've been looking at the draft since '98, man. Come on, man.
All y'all bring up good points. The biggest thing, the Bulls' biggest thing, they just need to be competitive this year. Whatever happens, whatever their record is, they have to show that they are competitive. They are playing teams good. They're not just getting wiped off the floor. Yeah. You know, when you play against a team, if you play against one of the great teams, you lose by 5. You know, but you playing hard. You going after it. Yeah. That's what I want, because Bird brought up a good point. If they are competitive, a free agent, deep free agent class coming out next year, even though Giannis just signed the max, he's out of it. But it's still a deep free agent class coming out there. You can look at a team like, oh, wait a minute, they got shooters, they got some big men, they got Zach LaVine. I can help that team.
And you always got those players like James Harden right now that's looking to run to the East because they think it's easier. Yeah. And if the Bulls position themselves like, oh, okay, all they missing is me. Yeah. For some kind of player, you know, that's kind of like what I would hope.
Yeah, so, you're right. So I agree with that totally. So they got to just be competitive.
If they make the playoffs, I think they could get a big name.
Absolutely. Yeah, they make the playoffs, definitely. They could. There's no question. So we shall see. They didn't make the bubble. They was one of the worst teams in the league last year. That's why they had a number 4 pick. But they got a new coach, new front office. Yeah. So Bulls fans, be optimistic. We're there. We're gonna see how it goes. Hopefully Billy Donovan is the guy. Hopefully he can develop the players, and we shall see. You've been watching Spectator Sporting. Shout out, I want to thank James and Bird for coming on once again, representing the Bulls. Until then, in the meantime, we out. Peace.